Hey, welcome back everyone. Thanks for coming on this journey with us to make your documentary film as awesome as it possibly can be. We're hoping to share some useful tips and tricks with you, but I wanted to just take pause for a moment and just give these guys a bit of a pep talk, because there's been a lot going on. You know, between development and pre-production, it can feel quite overwhelming. So let's just step back and look at the big picture for a second. Why make a documentary film in the first place?
Oh my gosh, that's a huge question. But usually it's because you've got a burning desire to share something with the world. Like there's a topic that you're deeply passionate about, it's something that's really important to you, and you really want to share that with people and get them engaged, involved, or, you know, just sharing your passion with people.
Yeah, making films like this is so enriching. The people you'll meet, the collaborators you'll work with, the creativity that you can express through doing this is second to none. It's going to make your life better. It can feel really overwhelming at this early stage. There's a lot to prepare, there's a lot to think about, and we're just trying to help give you guys that confidence and that knowledge that you need to do it in a way where you don't fall in a hole and it makes it really difficult for you to finish your film.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you can learn all this just by doing, just trial and error, just picking up a camera, getting out there and just doing it, and that is completely fine. But the idea of this series is really to help you discover and learn a bit more of all the things that we've had to learn for ourselves over the many years. It's kind of uncommon to go to do a fully fleshed out course in how to produce a documentary. It's normally people kind of find their way into it. It's not necessarily a career that people set out to do.
Yeah, and it becomes a bit of a calling, I think. And the thing is, what you were saying about you can just pick up a camera and go for it, I love that. Like, I think everyone should just pick up a camera. The earlier in the process they pick up a camera and start expressing themselves, the better. But there's a lot of knowledge you can benefit from just having that in mind, so you'll learn as you go, so that hopefully you are capturing material and expressing yourself creatively as you're watching this week to week and learning more. And that's just going to strengthen the project, and it's also going to mean that you don't get to a point and just go, oh no, if only I had done that, you know, a month or two ago.
Yeah, and I think a big part of the reason that we've created this series is because, you know, we've identified that the information's not that easy to find. It's just a lot of it is learning by doing. So, you know, by sharing what we've learnt by doing, hopefully it just accelerates the process for you and helps you, you know, get a little bit further along and avoid a lot of those pitfalls. Because unfortunately a lot of people get started on documentary films, they can't find the finance, or, you know, other priorities take over, they can't make it, you know, make the bread and butter, they can't make a living out of it, and they kind of give up, which is really kind of sad, because, you know, those stories they could bring into the world don't go into the world. So
I mean, just from personal experience, just how many countless films haven't been made and just sat there on a hard drive somewhere that just got stopped somewhere along the process. And part of that is motivation and just feeling demoralised. And what this series is all about is empowering you guys. So you feel like, yeah, it can be done. You can do this and you'll get to the end and it'll be worth it. So here's the thing about pre-production. I think so many projects can fall over at this point. You may have gone out there and done some strategic shooting. You know the material's worth making a film about. You're feeling really connected to it. But you can just get so beaten down by the process and it can become so overwhelming and demoralising. Something can go wrong, you might lose access to some of your talent. Something might have gone wrong with, you know, your crew, makeup, people become unavailable.
Or you just can't get the funding. Yeah.
Oh, funding's the biggest one. You just think, no one's ever going to fund this. How do you push through that?
You've got to come back to why you're doing it. Why are you making it? What's that thing that got you started in the first place? What's that message you want to share with the world? Why is it important to you? And I think also you just got to remember, you've just got to keep going. It's so much of filmmaking is really just tenacity, particularly at the pre-production stage. It's just one thing leads to another. Maybe this bit gets stalled because you've lost your DOP, or you know, there's some complication that you can't resolve quickly. Just work on a different bit. Pick a different part of the film. Make progress somewhere else. Just don't come to a grinding halt and put it on the shelf, because that's when it stays on the shelf and you don't get it made. You've just got to keep going bit by bit by bit until you can, just get over that hurdle and then the next hurdle. And, it's so satisfying once you get to the end and you've actually got your finished film and you're sitting in that cinema and it's up on the big screen, it'll all be worth it.
Absolutely. We can be our own worst enemy here. This is the time when you're probably the most isolated, when you've got the least momentum, when that negative self-talk or possibly criticism from others can really make you start questioning the project. I would say to that, lean in, go for it now. There's a reason you've put yourself on this journey. This film is worth making and putting out in front of people, and as you say, Sue, it is immensely satisfying to bring it to the world. And there are so many avenues now to take your film out there and make sure that they get seen.
So if 2023 is the year that you want to get your documentary produced, then please just follow along with this series. Go back to the beginning of all the episodes, just work your way through them. We're taking you through step by step from everything we started with, ideation, and we're now deep into pre-production. Next we're moving into production, and by the end of it, you'll be working with us and you will have your film.